Yay! Welcome. Today I'm going to interview Cecilia, who is a South African single mother that also took a chance on a digital program, and now she's a millionaire. As a single mom, flipped her zip code, and her story is super, super powerful. So I want you to, Cecilia, tell me a little bit about your background. Tell me about what your life looked like before you bought Legacy Builder.
How far do you want me to go back? Because I can go really far back to being, a high school dropout that started working at the age of 16 because my dad got injured on the mines. And while in the boarding process, there wasn't income coming into the house. So while they were busy with the whole, setting him up to board him medically, there was no income, which meant I couldn't finish high school and I needed to drop out of high school, started working at the age of 16, and all my life needed to work extremely hard for a little bit of income because that's the reality of people that, drop out of high school. I had two little babies, so when both of them now angel babies, and then when my little girl was born, I was like, I never want to miss a milestone. I never want to miss anything. And I decided I'm going to open up a daycare center because that's going to be the thing of all things. And just at that time, the law came into South Africa where you have to actually, go and study in order to have that. So again, I needed to pay double as much and study double as long and double as hard just to get that qualification to start that business. So I had my daycare center for 10 years, loved every second of it, had a lot of healing from it. But by the time my little girl went to primary school at the age of 10, I couldn't be the mama next to the sports field. I couldn't be the mommy helping out at the tuck shop. I wasn't the mom teachers depended on. And those were the things that I really wanted to be part of. Those were the things I didn't want to miss out on. And I decided to sell my daycare center and go into the beauty industry. But also, I sold the daycare center. COVID hit. After COVID, it was a divorce, so everything just fell flat, and I was left with nothing. And when I started my salon as well, the idea was I'm going to make money and have control over my time. But very soon, I ended up drowning in debt, working 15 hours a day, 6 days a week. If my child needed a pair of shoes, I had to work on Sundays. And it just kept on getting worse and worse and worse until I discovered a mummy online that was like, I'm a mom of six and a grand of five. And the only thing that I really wanted was to get my time back with my children, but also a way to provide for them. And I found such a way, which now allows me to never miss milestones, never miss a memory, and never worry, checking my bank account when I go and buy groceries. And at that stage, I was literally the mum that could barely afford a decent month's worth of groceries. Everything was stressing me out when it came to money. And I was like, what if this works? So I'm also South African, meaning that the minute I clicked on that link, I was like, oh my soul, this is dollars. It's not available for us. South Africans is in the back. We're always late with everything. But when I clicked on that link, I jumped on a webinar, I checked it out, and I saw normal moms and dads doing it. And I'm like, okay, so what if I buy this? And even if we can't do it, I just learn how to do it and find a way to do it in South Africa. But it actually did work in South Africa. And then 6 weeks later, some dollars online and life-changing money at the end of the day. I mean, literally, like 3 months later, not a single cent of debt left on my name. 5 months later, flipped my zip code. An insane lifestyle flip, actually, coming from a high school dropout to actually, like you said, making millions online.
Yes. Did you have any experience in marketing or social media money or anything before this?
No, I did try a little bit of MLM, but it was way too much for me. The whole hey girl, hey messages that you had to send in the DMs, I felt like an intruder. It didn't gel with me. I ended up being the network marketer that bought products every month just so that I could keep a rank or a status there that did not put food on the table, but just being part of something. But I soon gave up and was just like, this is not for me. So
Yes.
I did not really have any experience when it comes to digital marketing, creating content and stuff like that to make an income.
Okay. What about when you first started and you first hopped on that first webinar? What was some of your biggest fears in starting something new like this? Do you remember?
For me, it was, Jess, it was really, I was afraid of being alone. I
Yeah.
was afraid that I was going to buy something and it's going to be me and my computer and the two of us. And if I tell you we don't understand each other, then I'm not joking. I was also a bit afraid of tech, how to put things together, because I was looking into something that I actually considered, selling a kidney to get started was that freaking expensive. But when I looked at the, as the $7 side of it, I was like, oh my soul, this is just, it's too much tech. I have got no clue how this was actually going to work. So my fear was being alone, left on my own, trying to figure it out without any support, and then the techie side of it. Those were my two biggest things. For everything else, I was like, I will learn this. I'm 42 years old, but I can learn this. But those two was my biggest fears.
And then when you started, how long was it from when you purchased and started till you had that moment when you were like, oh my gosh, this really works?
6 weeks. 6 weeks, and I'll never forget it because I always heard moms talking about making money in their sleep. Now, me being the mom working 15 hours a day, and if I took a day off sick, I wouldn't be making money in my salon. I mean, then I would lie there sick and stressed out about how I'm going to cover my bills. So when I made my very, very, very first sale online, made my very first dollars online, I woke up to that one on my PayPal. I was like, oh my soul, this works. It really works. And I mean, I tried those, the play the games online thing that actually it gives you this notification here that you are having dollars that's going to pay out to PayPal, but you're always 15th in the line and then 40th. And there's always a reason why it hasn't paid out yet, those. So I was, even though I started this and I gave it my everything, I love the community and the interaction and the support and everything that I got. I still had that fear of, what is it going to be something like that?
Mhm.
But when I woke up to that one on my PayPal, I was like, what? And then 2 hours later, I actually made another $300 while doing somebody's nails. And I knew it. I knew there was more to life than all work and never playing. And I was like, this is the rich uncle's business. This is the rich uncle's business. The one that you always wonder why your daddy didn't take the same idea your uncle took and now he's rich and we are poor. Yeah. I was
Oh,
just
wow.
like, oh my soul.
No, I love that. The rich uncle's business. That's fun. All right. What advice would you give a single parent, a working parent, somebody that has a busy life, that's not making ends meet, that's watching people make money online, that's on the fence about spending the money to buy this program? What advice would you give them?
In my heart of hearts, I want to tell you today, I did not start this because I had time. I started this because I wanted time. I did not start this because I had the money. I started this because I needed the money. I needed something different. I'm going to tell you, all our lives, we are basically brainwashed as work hard if you want to make more money, work harder if you want to make more money, and just keep on working harder and harder and harder. But this is actually the one place where you're going to learn how to work smart and how to work less in order to make more. I will never ever regret the day that I said yes and started out with learning the skills, because the skills that you're going to learn from this, nobody will ever be able to take it away from you. Nobody will, you will never need to you will never need to be in that place again where you won't be able to get up and move forward in your life again because a boss fired you, because uh, a pandemic hit and you were left without money. Because the skills that you get to learn here will always take you the next level forward. So don't hesitate, just get started.
That's right. That's the one thing. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the longer you hesitate. Tell me, Cecilia, what does your life look like today versus 2 years ago? Like, tell me about what you did this morning.
So as I sit here, you guys, I wanna just say this. I don't know if this is a global thing, if anybody else out there in the world does this, but South Africans, and I grew up with this saying, let's say, for example, you want a car and you are working for a minimum wage. You always say, oh, one day when I'm big. Even though if you're sick, you can be 60 and still, repeat that phrase. One day when I'm big, I'm going to, like just accepting it. Now, I always used to say, one day when I'm big, I'm going to live by the ocean. And 5 months into digital marketing, I actually flipped our zip code and we moved to the ocean. As a single mama, being able to care for my little girl, now completely out of debt for the first time ever, right before we moved, actually buying a car cash without asking the bank to help me with the loan. But the day that we packed up and we flipped our zip code and we moved to the ocean, I was like, oh my word, is this really my life? Jess, I used to work 15 hours a day. Like, honestly, I missed everything of my job. There were so many times where I had to rush her so that I could get back to work. And the worst part is, if she should ask me on that day when we do the bread and milk run for a sweetie, I didn't even have the money to buy that for her. After she saw me working like that and always, never being available for her. But now life is like, I sit here and I look out over the ocean. Just if I look above my computer, I look out over the ocean. And I live that life where time is mine. Slow mornings and, relaxed conversations. Never, if my child needs something, I don't have to tell her, don't worry, I'll work an extra shift or something like that in order to be able to afford it. I can do it for her. I never have to triple check my bank account and my budget just to do anything for her. I get to take daily beach walks. I never used to even have time for myself, let alone walk on the beach. It's a completely different lifestyle. I wake up and I'm excited about what I'm doing because I know I get to take the next mom's hand and lead her into this type of lifestyle. It's like I'm living with purpose, if I can say that. It's like I've got a purpose driven life. It's not just a wake up and work and repeat and wash and rinse and repeat all the time. It's purpose driven. It's like, literally, give me your hand, let me help you, let me show you what's possible for your future.
I love that. Tell us really fast what you did just this morning while what you saw this morning in your slow morning.
This morning, I mean, all flip flops and all, with my cup of coffee in my hand, we had like from our balcony looking out over the ocean where we watched whales playing in the ocean. I mean, isn't it insane? Jumping and playing, and you could see the fins and the flips and everything. It is just, and just being able to be in that position where I'm not rushing off to work, I'm not being pressed by anybody to do anything other than just stand and admire what I get to see now, what I get to experience now.
Yes. What is the one thing, Cecilia, that you would tell somebody that watches other people making money online or watches us with Legacy Builder, um, mom to mom, woman to woman, family to family? The one thing that you would tell somebody that's a super skeptic, that doesn't have the money and doesn't have the time, just like you said, the one thing you would tell them.
I was a super skeptic too. I'm going to tell you that. I was a super skeptic too. I was afraid to. I know this is new. I know it's an industry that you don't know much of, and I know there's a lot of noise out there. But the one thing that I want to tell you today is, and this is going to come from my heart, if you've been praying for a way out and you start seeing these mums or these dads over and over and over again sharing this opportunity with you, there's a reason why it keeps on popping up. If you are in the position where you don't have the time or you don't have the money to get started, your next prayer, because you already prayed for the door to open, your next prayer should be, Lord, if this is for me, make the provision. And if He does, get started. Get started. Because I'm going to tell you this, I was scared. I was a skeptic. I mean, I sat in South Africa, and when I clicked that link and it was in dollars, I feared that it wasn't going to work for us. But I had this little voice sitting on my shoulder all the time telling me, you were meant for more. You were meant for more. This is not life. It's not supposed to be that way. And I decided to listen to that voice. I decided to stop ignoring that voice because I kept on making this a prayer thing. You will not regret it. But you don't want to sit a year from now and look back and say, I should have. My friend, the world is going digital, whether we want to admit it or not. I can tell you that's why we get to buy groceries and have it dropped off at our house from an app from our phone.
Yep.
You can buy a couch online and they drop it at your house from an app on your phone. Why not get started with this? Why not learn how to work less so that you can have more time with your family and actually make the type of money where you can start achieving the goals and dreams that you've always had? If what you've been doing since the day that you started working up until now hasn't been giving you the life that you wanted to live, don't you think it's time to make a change? To check out something new? If thousands of mamas are telling you this works, there's a reason why they keep telling you this works.
I love it. I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you, my friend.
Thanks for meeting with us today.
It's
I'm
a pleasure.
By the year 2027, digital marketing is projected to be a $3 billion a day business. You just heard from Cecilia, who was a single mom, working 15 hours a day, did not have the money to buy this program or the time. That's the exact person that you probably are watching that she was. We don't have the money, we don't have the time. Life is expensive. But where are you going to be in a few months if you don't make a change? What are you going to do? How are you going to afford that? How are you going to pay that off? Where will you be in 6 months if you don't make a change in the way your finances are going right now? I want you to click on the link, look at the payment plans if you need to, do whatever you need to do. You need mentors, you need daily systems, you need email marketing, you need a community of other people that want to change their life that are going to pour into you every day. So click my link, put your email in there, talk to me every day because you're going to love to start hearing from me. And eventually you're going to say, I've had enough. I'm going to draw a line in the sand and I'm going to change my life because I'm tired of being here and I need to get over here.